am I speaking to right now?
Cameron.
My name is Cameron.
Cam Buford.
Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg. I'm hanging on my man Cameron Buford.
You got some good questions today. I'm a Dolphin fan. There's always room for improvement.
I'm more a fan of boxing. Boxing is my main sport.
All we want to see every year are the best two mothers getting in the ring and getting on.
I got some of this for you.
Goodness. For me?
Yeah, just for you.
Think about it like this: the promoter pays the fighter, the fighter pays the manager.
Okay.
So the manager works for the fighter, and the fighter works for the promoter.
Okay. So you are lifting weights currently?
It's not look like that.
When he said it's easier to score in the NBA versus Europe, did you agree with them?
To me, it's easy to score all over the world.
Can I finish? Do you want me to speak or do you want to conduct the interview and answer for me? Which one?
What do you think about these upcoming?
Like I was saying before.
Aaron, what has the game of baseball taught you?
One of the biggest things is being humble.
Can you give a message to the kids to kind of persevere through the false teachings they may be giving?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
As the show Voice of the Fans
Oh my goodness
continues
gracious.
to evolve,
Come on, you were adding some spice to it.
it is strictly banter back and forth between myself and Cameron Buford.
I enjoy all of it.
The real ones know what's going on, right? Never mind.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape, and then you tell me if it was all about just a system.
You look like a buffoon.
Go do your research. Go do your study.
I'm not caught up to you guys yet. I do
Real surprised at that, Ken.
Hey, come here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, this guy.
That's what's good in sports, man. It's the big Snoop Dogg, man.
That's what's good in sport.
Thank you for making our voice your choice.
If you haven't told your girlfriend about the show, tell her about the show. If you haven't told your boyfriend about the show, tell him about the show. If you haven't told your cousin, your uncle, your grandfather about the show, let everybody know about the Voice of the Fans podcast.
Hey, man, thanks for making our voice your choice. You know how we do. Yeah.
What's good, fam? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man, Cam. It is week 354 of the Voice of the Fans podcast, and we're about to get started today. We got a lot to get into, and I thank you guys again for joining me. Congratulations to everybody who's on the other side of the globe. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Fans, I got a little carried away. I got a little carried away. I think everybody here in Seattle got a little carried away, thinking that the Mariners, 2 games away from the World Series, were going to sweep the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto Blue Jays. I know this is a basketball show. There's a basketball channel. We do a football show, and not a lot of. We don't do a lot of Major League Baseball talk, but I got my man Bo on the line, and we're both here in the Northwest. So you guys, if you got those of you who have followed me, know I'm up here in the Northwest, kind of migrated up here. I don't root for the Mariners. I got Bo, but I got a little carried away. It was in the air. We were talking about Six Stadium. We're talking about the Brewers possibly coming back and beating the Dodgers. There being an all-Seattle World Series. Bo. And then we go into, we went up 2-0.
Yeah.
Julio Rodriguez actually been clutching these playoffs, this series specifically.
Yep.
So the Mariners go up 2-0. Oh man, I know. I saw the what is it? What color is that? It's not a turquoise, the flags, the teal flags flowing around in the stadium. It looked like it was super hot. It was super hype in the stadium.
Yep. It got quiet quick.
It got quiet real quick, man. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but you tell me. I'm not much of a baseball fan, and in fact, I notoriously do not root for the Mariners because they stunk and have stunk for years. Okay, in 40 years, they've had 5 winning seasons. Why waste my time with that crap? Okay,
Fair enough.
So, I grew up in Seattle, watching the Mariners. Just had nothing to be excited about. So never got into Mariners. Never really got in baseball until I started covering the Los Angeles Dodgers a few years ago when I was in Los Angeles, and that kid Shohei Ohtani. So I was a little tickled that there might be a Mariners Dodgers meeting here.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, there's a good chance for it.
Well,
there's a good chance.
Well, let's settle down now. Reality has now slapped us in the face, Bo, and the Mariners are down 12-0. Bo, you tell me, Bo. I think I got my philosophy, and I'll see if you agree with me. You tell me why Dan Wilson, the Mariners GM, did not pull Kirby when it was 2-0. Or no, excuse me, when they tied it up 2-2. When they tied it up 2-2. You tell me why he didn't pull Kirby.
Yeah, so tying it up 2-2, I wouldn't have pulled him there yet. I mean, he didn't have a ton of his first 2 innings only had 24 pitches. So I mean,
so what? So what? We get a lead. They tie it up. They tie it up in no time at all. Okay, you don't have in baseball. I'm sorry. Go ahead, answer your question, then I'll get into my explanation.
Well, no. So I mean, the thing is like you give up. You have a bad pitch, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not pulling a guy in the 3rd inning for a bad pitch. Like I'm not doing that. If it was the 5th or the 6th, sure. That's so early. You don't want to burn up your bullpen in game 3. You got 2 more games to play in succession, right? Like you want your guys to be able to stay, kind of healthy and fresh and whatever. If you're going to your bullpen in the 3rd, you're going to use the entirety of your bullpen by the end of the game. So
let me cut you off right there. I mean, I'm old enough to remember the Mariners playing 15 innings the other night, and old enough to remember I saw Bizarro come in and he picked 6 innings. He could have been the middle relief in this game, but that's. So you're saying you don't want to burn your bullpen, so you let Kirby kind of just go as long as he can. You stretch him out as long as you can, right?
I mean, especially after you get absolutely shelled in that, right? Like, so I wouldn't have pulled him after 2, but soon as he gave up that 3rd in that inning, I probably would have, right? Because then all of a sudden you're just like, okay, these guys are just hitting him. And then of course the next inning, say you left him in until the 4th, he immediately gives up another home run. Should have came out there. At that point, I think they were just like, you know what, we're going to go ahead and concede a game here, because then when they go to the bullpen, who do they bring in? Vargas, who has pitched horribly. Like he's been letting everybody hit. So, I mean, I think that was the,
just let them get it out their system now.
Hey.
Huh? Here, let them give it out their system. But now you're giving away a game. This is the Seattle Mariners, Bo. This is a position they've never been. They're not the favorite coming into the series. You can't just start giving away games.
They weren't going to sweep anyway. They were going to give up a game.
Okay. I know that I wasn't counting on a sweep. I certainly wasn't counting on a sweep. But
basically they picked the game.
Okay. So now, Bo, that puts a lot of pressure on tomorrow night.
Sure.
That puts a lot of pressure on tomorrow night to tie the series up. I would have yanked them, man. And it's Kirby. Kirby pitched well in the playoffs. Kirby, you've been good. Tonight's your night. Tonight in baseball, it's easy to say tonight's not your night.
Yeah.
Let's give somebody else a chance. All right. That's why I would have pulled them when it was 2-2. I would have still. We want to stay in the game. You hold it to 3-2. The next inning, he can't come out the next inning.
And the thing that's funny is, if it was Game 5, they'd have pulled him. I honestly think this was a
giveaway game
early in the series. They want to keep their bullpen as fresh as possible, which is why they went straight to Vargas. They're like, you know what? We're just going to throw everybody out there that's going to let them dent cars. And
well, they didn't railroad cars. The way T-Mobile was set up, they didn't railroad cars.
For real.
It's tricky, but fans in Seattle, they just need to temper.
Well, I mean, so to be fair, like I am a realistic Mariners fan. I started a hashtag years ago from hope to nope, right? Like that is the Mariners. And so it's, I mean, I've been a Mariners fan my whole life, and, you know, I watched the 3 real playoff runs that we've had.
What?
And
the 3 what?
The 3 real playoff runs, right?
Bo, the team was established in 1976. How many playoff runs did they have?
They've had 3 other appearances in the ALCS.
Exactly the reason I don't mention the Mariners, and exactly anybody who's followed this show know I gave my co-host a Mariners minute. We give them 60 seconds to talk Mariners, and that was it. So enough Mariner talk.
Yep,
enough Mariner talk. Bo, Mr. National, Bo, let the people know where you're from, man. What you do, what you got going on, because I think this is our what is this, hour 19 for Bo on the air tonight.
Hey, Wednesdays are tough, man. I actually decided not to do the show that I would normally do before this because I wanted to see this game. And in retrospect, I should have done the show. But yeah, I mean, you can find me on my YouTube at Football-Talk, and of course on Roku, National Streaming Sports, and 97.3 ICU Radio. And then tomorrow night at Crucible Brewing in Everett for our Pick'em show that has gotten very competitive over the last week.
Let's talk about this Pick'em. Do you have the standings available in the Pick'em?
I do.
I should have pulled the standings up and showed the crowd, because I know I admitted. Oh man, these last 2 weeks has been terrible for me.
No, the last 2 weeks have been terrible for everybody. That's why I say like it got very competitive because there's been so many upsets.
And
so we are actually tied. There's 4 people tied for second. The leader is 3 games ahead, so they got a little bit of distance, but still early. A lot of football left.
Football to play.
All right, so if we go overall, come on, wake up.
Yeah, I looked at it earlier. I was just giving you a hard time. I looked at it. Not too far, and that's what I want you to tell the people, that I'm not too far behind you, Bo.
Well, no, we're tied. We both have 56 wins.
56, yeah. Just 3 games behind Gary and Deb.
Yep.
Gary and Deb, I'm coming for you, Gary and Deb. I'm coming for you. I don't like this area where I'm standing. I don't like people ahead of me on any kind of chart.
Yeah,
any kind of chart at all. I don't like people ahead of me unless it's a police chart. Eyewitness chart.
No, it's funny though, because like week 5, there were so many upsets. It was unreal. You know, I think there was 13 games played. I got 5 right. You got 4 right.
Exactly.
I mean, it was rough. There's a couple that only got 3. Like it was Vegas won that
big time. Yeah, sure. And this past week too, week 6 wasn't so great in my book either, but it was better. Before we get into the games and kind of some of the highlights that you saw from week 6, Mr. National Champion, Bo.
Yes, sir.
When the quarterback comes out and says nobody's showing up to the team meetings. Now, I want to get your feedback before I go into this. Most of the fans listening who watch my show for years, they know I'm a Dolphin fan. I go back to way back to David Wiley was my quarterback. Okay, so that was before Marino. I didn't just jump on the bandwagon there. However, when the quarterback comes out and goes to the podium post-game press conference, after he's thrown 3 interceptions, and says, guys, they asked him what's the problem. He says guys aren't showing up to the players only meetings.
Yeah.
Bo, what's your takeaway from that? Because I will tell you, I'll give you my feedback after you hear me, because most people know I'm a big time Dolphin fan, but I did not want them to draft Tua Tagovailoa when it was Tua or Herbert.
They did a lot wrong there. Because I mean,
you say Herbert, you say the name Herbert Justin instead of Tua on a draft card. That's what you do. You don't draft Tua, because I didn't want him to draft Tua because he was injured. He was injury prone, and I thought he was coddled. Nick Saban, the way Nick Saban does his thing, he wants to get the best out of the player. But in college, we can protect you. We don't have to you don't have to be the leader. You don't have to go talk to anybody. We can just keep you right here, stay right in the closet until game day, and then you go out and run your thing. So he wasn't I never felt Tua as a leader, not in college, not any time in the NFL. I personally didn't see leadership from him. Not only did I not want them to draft him, I thought he was fragile, and I didn't he threw with anticipation, but he didn't have a big time arm. So that little you have
to throw with anticipation if you don't have a big arm, because you got to get it out in front.
Okay, well, I'm just identifying the faults that I saw in him coming in. Why I didn't want to draft him. Now you tell me what you heard or what you understand now from when they call a players only meeting and then nobody shows up to your meeting. What did that tell you?
So, it tells you that there's a leadership issue. The thing that's funny is when you listen to the soundbite, he was trying to make it sound like that was a McDaniels issue, except he just explicitly said that was a players only, which means it's not coaches.
It's not coaches, right?
Which means it's going to be up to the guys with the C on the chest to be the leaders to make sure guys are showing up and getting there on time and doing all of that stuff. And that last I recalled, he's one of those dudes that's got the C, which means that falls on him. So I can actually do you even one better, because he came out with a nonsense response, and I actually have that soundbite for you.
Oh, look at this. Okay. All right, let's go.
This team of the Miami Dolphins, the comments that had been said, I would say I've made a mistake, and I'm owning up to that right now. I've talked to guys on the team about it, talked to the leaders about it, and that they know my heart. They know that the intent was right, but no matter the intent, the intent can be right, but when things get misconstrued or however the media wants to portray it, that leaves a void of silence and a lot of questions for the guys on our team. Now, being 1-5, we talk a lot about, all right, we got to get this going. We got to get this going. Come in excited to go to work. Forget about the noise. And I feel like I just added onto that for our guys. For myself, I got to look at myself as the leader, protecting the team. I don't feel like I did that to the best of my abilities. I felt like I let the emotions of the game get to me after the game. And, that's something that I can learn from as a leader on this team. And what happens in-house should be protected. And none of that should have gotten out. And so want to publicly apologize about that, want to move forward, and now want to focus on the Cleveland Browns.
So here's my issue. Is he still didn't take ownership of that. He's like, it was misconstrued by the media and all of this nonsense. At no point, he was still pointing other directions. Like, nah, man, you came out, you said some nonsense in front of the national media, and you still really aren't taking accountability for the fact that if guys aren't showing up, that's on you as a leader of the team.
That's on you. That's simply on you. And the fact that he doesn't, thank you both for the sharing the clip. It's on him. And the fact that he doesn't recognize that.
Yes.
6 years into the NFL as the starting quarterback is a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. He's not a leader.
No,
he's not a leader. And so I'm gonna give you a nugget, fans. This is totally off the record, fans. But you guys can carry this with you to your workplace, in your life. You don't have to be given a title to be a leader.
True.
You don't have to. I had this conversation, oddly enough, with my niece 3 weeks ago. You can be a leader without the title.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to be given, guys. So on your job, and you feel that you're running everything, and the boss asks you questions, that's okay. You're a leader in that workspace.
Yes.
You could be a leader without the title, and it's not always fun. I've been a leader without the title, and it's not always fun to do the leadership work and not getting paid for it. For sure. but it kind of makes for me, it kind of makes my day go a little bit smoother. If I'm telling people what to do versus other people telling me what to do, it kind of makes the day go a little bit smoother. But Tua's not a leader, and that's sad to say. And that's he McDaniels. You're absolutely right, but McDaniels is not a leader. If McDaniels was a leader, we wouldn't have this problem.
No, that's why I said
they wouldn't be in. They wouldn't be. I say we because I'm a big Dolphin fan.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be in that problem that we're having, searching for some leadership. The guys are 1-5. I don't know where it comes from. It's not coming. I don't know where it's coming from. It's not coming from Chris Greer. It's not coming from Mike McDaniel. It's not coming from your quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. There's no dogs on the team. Minka, I'm interested. This is the time I would love to go back in the locker room because I want to hear from Minka Fitzpatrick. Minka, who said he wanted out years ago, got traded back to this.
I know.
I know he's hot as fire. But Minka, tell me, what's your thoughts on what's going on here? I'd love to hear his candor and how he feels about the situation. He's more of a leader, in my opinion, than Tua Tagovailoa is.
Well,
I want to know.
I think there's a lot of guys that are probably more apt to lead from behind in that team than the leaders they have in place.
Well, we need somebody to stand up. The Dolphins need somebody to stand up because that ship be sinking quickly. And
so which week does McDaniel get fired?
Here we are. We're going into week 7.
Yeah,
it's gonna. If they lose to the Browns, like, what are we doing? If he loses to the Cleveland Browns, which is very possible,
it's likely.
What are we doing? They're underdog. What are we doing? If they lose to Cleveland, why keep them? I mean, I guess you're going to say who are you going to put in place? Anthony Reaver, the defensive coordinator, who the defense hasn't been that much better, but they're just spinning their wheels. If they're just spinning their wheels.
So let me ask you this, because this is kind of where I'm at with this team now. Obviously, I'm not a Dolphins fan, but from like a analysis part,
sure,
you're going to get rid of your coach.
Yep.
Tyreek has been talking about trying to get out of there.
I would have traded Tyreek. I tried to trade Tyreek last season.
Yeah,
I would have traded. I would have traded him last season.
I was on the same boat with DK. Like, I wanted to get him out of here for 2 years. So
Tyreek's not a leader either. So if you're looking to Tyreek to leadership, I mean,
that ain't it.
Yeah. So I mean, the team is rudderless right now.
So
it's a sad shame. But go ahead.
I mean, I look at your team now, and I'm just like, okay, you're going to fire McDaniel because you have to.
He can't win games. Yeah.
Tyreek doesn't want to be there. Like, is this where you just blow the thing up? You're just like, you know what? We missed the mark.
Yes,
let's try and get what we can out of Tyreek. Let's try and get what we can out of Waddle. Because let's be honest, he hasn't been able to stay healthy in his time there, right? So you're paying a lot of guys that have been inconsistent and haven't been able to stay healthy. Do you just get draft picks and be like, you know what? We missed, and start over?
Pretty much. I mean, pretty much. This is what you're going to have to do. I would have something else. I'm not a big proponent of players holding out, but had I been advising A-Chain, I would have told A-Chain to hold out going that last week of preseason. You're sitting out, buddy. You're not playing because they're going to run you ragged this year because there's no other talent on that team that they need to be concerned with. That's with Tyreek healthy, and that's with Waddle healthy. There's no A-Chain was going to get all the carries, all the backfield. I would have told him to hold out because they're going to run this little poor kid ragged. And then next year, A-Chain is going to be like, if he stays healthy and let's just say he gains 1,100 yards because he has to rush because he's only quite a credible running back. A-Chain is going to come in and ask for $15 million a year like my guy Brooks did in Buffalo. What's going on here? You guys got to pay me. So you got to blow it up. I mean, it's time to blow it up. Yep. If that means cutting Tua, that means you cut Tyreek. I doubt you're going to get a bag of Doritos for Tyreek, considering the injury.
Someone will give him something.
Well,
like if you were to do it right now before the trade, right? Because trade deadline this year is week 10.
But no, he's injured. He's injured. Tyreek is injured. The big Tyreek's thing is speed. You can't have a gimpy wheel and be the fastest guy in the NFL. He's not going to be that no more.
Well, no, he definitely won't be that.
He's not. It's not like he was. Shoot, who do you want to say? He doesn't have big size to where now, like Devontae Adams, so now he can just go post up and catch passes. His big thing was speed, getting by you in and out of cuts. If he doesn't have that, he's going to be in trouble, or he's just going to be the speed demon for the Kansas City Chiefs again. I mean that's it.
There is a chance that he just doesn't make it back. Like maybe he comes back, but if he doesn't have his speed.
Yeah, he's not the player.
He's just not the guy.
Yeah, exactly. So again, you're gonna have to take a stick of dynamite in there. We need a coach. We need a GM. Like how? Stephen Ross. I need a job. I will leave the Northwest and come to South Florida, and I'll be the general manager of your squad. I know I can pick. I know I can draft better players than what Chris Greer has done. If Chris Greer is my standard, I can beat that standard. I'm sure. I assure you of that. I'm not taking Deion Jordan with the number 3 pick. I'm not doing that. I don't know.
You can throw a dart, right? If you took the roster book from senior day and just threw darts at it, it would be better than what has happened over the last few years.
I mean, so I'm screaming every year. It's terrible. It's terrible. Greer sucks. Yep. Mike McDaniel has lost the team. I was kind of excited about him when he first came. Little offensive genius, little kind of guru. It was cute. But like Michael Irvin said, I don't know if you heard Michael Irvin rant a couple of days ago. I've never kind of passed behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And that's how the game has changed. But I don't want my receivers catching passes behind the line of scrimmage. We got to go upfield. Let's go upfield, guys. This behind the back. My running back catch a bubble route. Enough of the Dolphins, man. We got off of them.
There's a reason he never caught one behind the line, though, because
he's a beast.
Well, not just that, but linebackers could hit you a little different than they can now.
Well, yeah. But you would have thought you would have thought that. I don't like that. I don't like the quick screens anyway to begin with. But they do it. They start calling that play, and then one of the reasons I personally hate that play is because they're counting on the defense not to make the play, not to make the tackle.
Yes.
And if the defense doesn't make the tackle, okay, now you got room open run. But as a defensive play, as a tackler, I'm coming up to pop that line, to pop that running back, to pop that receiver, and making you guys think about catching that pass again. But I don't know. A couple of things. These Seahawks is climbing up these top 10 boards here. I don't know. I'm gonna get to my top 5 teams later. But these Seahawks are climbing in the NFC and the overall supremacy rankings, and my rankings anyway. You want to talk about Sam Darnold? Some people are now getting a little carried away, just like these Mariner fans getting carried away with the Mariners sweeping the Tampa Bay, the Toronto Blue Jays. Some people have Sam Darnold in their MVP category.
Yeah, they need to calm down. But
thank you. But he's playing good. He's playing good ball.
He's playing good.
He's playing good. He's playing good ball. I mean, it helps when you got Jackson Smith, the Jigba over there, and you're actually getting something from your running game. And the defense is playing. I like the defense. I like what the defense is doing more so. Give me your words on what the Seahawks are doing right now.
So yeah, I mean, a few things there. Obviously, yeah. I mean, Darnold is playing great. Like I'm happy with the level of play that he has. Obviously, the move looks very smart. Now that we're seeing how bad Geno's playing, right? Yeah, so you're just like, okay, cool. We saved $10 million, and Darnold's balling out. So I'm not mad at that. JSN has become the highest rated receiver in the league. So impressive. And I am super impressed with the defense that went to Jacksonville because we were without 5 players. 3 of them were starting DBs. Mm-hmm. And that defense locked them up.
Yeah,
so I was really happy with that. If you watch that game real close, our front 7 made the biggest difference. Their offensive tackle, number 72, Little, I believe is his name.
Cam Little,
yeah, he was getting torched the entire day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those now you got studs over here on that D line. Now you got DeMarcus Lawrence, you got Big Cat Williams, you got some studs on the defensive line. And what I like about it most, and what I saw the guys in training camp, is they're gonna your D line. If your interior defensive lineman makes plays, makes tackles, that's awesome. What they're really supposed to do is command a double team to allow your linebackers to run freely. And Jones, I don't know if Mike McDonald's designed Jones in the lab, if he spit him out, if he shit him out and said, "This is my guy." I don't know how this camaraderie is working, but Jones is playing like a Pro Bowl, all-pro linebacker, and the defensive linemen are allowing that, enabling him to do so, keeping him clean, enabling him to roam around and make the tackles. So I really like the way this defense is flowing. Again, keep giving the ball back to Sam Darnold, keep giving the ball back to Walker and Charbonnet, and let them pick up some yards, let them figure it out. The running game, they're still trying to figure out that running game, but they are getting some big clips because that offensive line is better than most people anticipated.
So one of the big things that was different this week than the previous weeks when it comes to the offensive line is Bradford wasn't a complete liability on the line. So when you watch film, it makes me mad all the time because in pass pro, we actually have a great pass protection because Bradford is allowed to just kind of buddy up to somebody for pass protection blocks. But when it comes to, run blocking, he has to go get somebody. And he does not do that. And so if you watch a lot of the film, especially, through the last couple of weeks outside of the Jags game, I actually watched him block one of our own guys in the back. I'm like, what are we doing right now? So the fact that he didn't have any of those huge missteps that he's had in the 3 weeks, prior to that, is encouraging. It's like, okay, maybe he is starting to come around, because otherwise it makes you really start to scratch your head, because if he's missing guys the way that he has been, hitting one of our own guys a couple of different times, and he's still your better option, like, you need to look at your depth, because that's a real issue. So
what's up, Chief? Eagles unconcerned. You might be concerned there, buddy. We're gonna get to the Eagles.
That's uncensored.
Eagles, you might uncensored. You might want to get censored there, because we're gonna talk about the Eagles. What are you? We talked about the Seahawks. We got too much in depth about the Dolphins. What were just some of your takeaways about this past week in general? What stood out to you? Any game on the list. I mean, we can go all down the board, but just what stood out to you?
So one of the things that was there's a couple of teams that have become pretty impressive for me. One of them is Tampa Bay. Baker's balling out, right? Yes, and I've never been super high on Baker. I think he's super inconsistent. Really? But his time with Tampa, he has become a different level of player. And there was a play that completely broke down. It was 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 12, something like that.
3rd and 14. There we go.
And he sheds 3 blocks and then rolls out to the left and then dives for a first down. Like, if there was ever an MVP moment, like, it's that, right? Now, obviously, it's too early to talk about MVPs.
We're in week 5 now. Come on now.
No. That's why I'm saying, I'm just saying, your MVP cases are built on moments.
Sure.
Right. Sure. And so if there was an MVP moment, that was one of them. Right. Now, obviously, by the end of the season, your numbers have to match and all of that. But then when they break it down to the people that are close, it's going to be moments like that will change voting. Now, again, we're going into week 7. MVP talk is nonsense. But you still look at some of those moments for the guys that you think might be there. And the fact that he's continuing to help, win these games with all of his receivers out.
Yeah, now even Ibuka's out.
Right?
Ibuka's killing. Just hurting me. Yeah, Baker's balling. I like Baker coming out of college. I thought going to Cleveland, I expected more in Cleveland. I don't blame him totally. I did. When he went to Cleveland, they had talent. They had wide receivers. They had Nick Chubb was there. They had talent. Their defense, the defense is not where it is today. But they had Myles Garrett was not chopped liver. The Cleveland defense has grown over the last couple of years. But I thought the cupboard was not bare when he was in Cleveland. Now, whether it was coaching, whether it was his maturity, whether he needed to learn the game, there was a lot of things that went into it.
What's the name of that team?
The Cleveland Browns.
Ah.
I'm saying though, I talked to Jim Brown about this. I was like, Jim, you guys actually got a quarterback that can play because the moxie. I like this moxie. I like coming out of college. I like the moxie. It's hard to call a Heisman Trophy winner an underdog, but he had the underdog feel to him, and I thought it would play well in Cleveland. But Cleveland, it just wasn't the place for him. Now, again, I'm saying this now, 8 years later, Cleveland's still abysmal, right? So I like his moxie. It took some maturity. He's in a good place in Tampa where he feels comfortable. You saw what he did with Evans. He had a Buka now for much of the season. I think they'll work their way back into it. But he got them 5-1. He has them 5-1 right now in playoff contention. If they give a couple games away, I think they're still going to be in playoff contention. They're pretty good right now. Something that kind of caught my eye is the way that Kansas City put the smackdown on the Detroit Lions. I felt Detroit had kind of rid themselves of their early season, that game one woes there. They kind of got in rhythm. I think they won 4 in a row. Then they get the smackdown by the Chiefs. Before I discount what the Lions have been able to do, I want to give the Chiefs some credit because that boy, Patrick Mahomes, if he can get him going and he can get these receivers to catch some passes and hold on to the ball, like that is it. Now that they have Rice coming back, Worthy is continuing to develop. Juju is their underneath receiver playing big football. I think he's in his happy space where he's won. These Kansas City Chiefs kind of looking like the Kansas City Chiefs of old. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things people were so down on the Chiefs, but to start the season, they had so many injuries, right? Yeah. Obviously, Rice is out with a suspension. This will be his first week back. And then you had Worthy that was out. And I mean, you had them going out there as their wide receiver 1 was wide receiver 3. Right. And so, I mean, like there was a lot of things not to like about KC. And I mean, the thing you really have to look at is their division. They had a great opportunity to just step on the neck of KC for this year, right? Broncos are good, Chargers are good, but they just couldn't seem to figure out how to get the wins, and they let KC hang around. KC is too good for that. Now they're going to have their full complement of weapons back. KC's going to win that division again.
Already in week 5, you say it's already done, and now the Chargers beat them twice, or the Chargers already beat them this season. So if the Chargers, if they meet again, the Chargers win, they'll have the I'm sorry.
Yeah,
they'll have the tiebreaker. They'll have the tiebreaker if they beat them again. I don't expect the Chargers to fall off, although they're dealing with injuries. Hampton going out, their running back is huge for them because although Vidal picked up nearly 100 yards last week, but if Hampton comes back, I mean, I don't know that they're not far off that pace.
So 2 teams are going to go to the playoffs from that division.
It could be 3.
It could be 3.
It could be 3.
There's
The
definitely
Broncos,
2.
Yeah,
there's
the Broncos
definitely 2.
The Broncos are good enough to not be so far behind those guys.
Well, especially when you're looking at teams like, the Ravens and, obviously
that's what I'm saying. The Ravens, the Bengals, who's not going to be in the playoffs. That leaves some opening. Tennessee's not going to be there. Houston, there's only going to be one team out of the South. Oh, the Mariners hit back-to-back home runs.
Got to try and make it interesting, right?
Oh, well, Cal Raleigh gets one. Okay. I mean, so the bat's not quiet anyway. It's still 12-4.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, so there's going to be some teams that you expected to be there that are going to miss. So it's entirely possible that 3 teams go, but there's definitely going to be 2. The big thing is the Chargers beat them, but they beat them when they had 2 receivers injured, right? Yeah. And so now you beat them when you beat them.
A win's a win, right?
Win's a win, right? I'm just saying they may not beat them the next time through because they'll have their full complement of players. Now, I don't think they're the juggernaut that they've been, right? Travis Kelce isn't the dude that he's been. Last year, he looked slow. He slims down this year, but he didn't get that speed back. And, so, I mean, there's plenty to not like about this KC team. Their defense isn't as good as it's been over the last couple of years. So, I mean, they're a beatable team. But the teams in this division had their opportunity to really hammer them down, and they didn't. And now they're a game back.
Yeah. I see that. And who are the Chiefs playing this week? Let me see real quick. Who the Chiefs got they got a good game. They're playing the Raiders. So they're playing the Raiders, and they're up by, or excuse me, they have a 12-point spread on the Raiders. So
I like that you said they're up by, and you're not wrong. Like, they're probably already winning that game.
They're up by 12. That's what I was thinking. They already have that margin built in. Well, I don't dislike the Broncos. I like Bo Nix.
I like the team. They're just not going to win the division.
No, they're not going to win the division, but I think they're going to play gutsy. They got the number 2 or 3 defense in the league, so that's going to keep them in games. They're going to keep giving them ball back. So I do like Bo Nix and what's going on. Something else that caught my eye is when Rico Dowdell said, "Buckle up, buckle up, I'm coming." And the Cowboys, their defense is putrid. Just let him run for 230 yards. The Cowboys, they're a non-factor, right?
Cowboys terrible.
The Cowboys are a non-factor. Do the 49ers regain their health? Brock Purdy, well, we know Bosa's out. He's not coming back.
Fred Warner just went down for the year.
Well, Bosa did too. Last week? Warner. Yeah, that was a painful one. And now they don't even have their reinforcements. In previous years, they had reinforcements to come back behind Warner. They probably have somebody, but he's not. I'm thinking, but when I say reinforcement, they had Greenlaw, who was a beast. Like not a lot of people recognize who he was, but he was a beast and able to come up, step up for those guys. But is San Francisco? Are they able to regain or despite the injuries, are they able to be a factor in the NFC? Do you see that down the line?
They're going to need to get some people back. The thing is amazingly, they've been able to win games.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they have a crazy amount of injuries. They have Mac Jones starting. And I mean, it's amazing they keep rattling off wins. I think Warner going down might be that final puzzle piece that starts to derail this thing. I mean, you can only lose so many starters before it really starts to make your team kind of fall apart. Sure. So unless they get some of these guys back, some of them are done for the year, though, so they're just not going to get them back.
He's not going to come back, yeah.
So
how confident? So how are you more confident in the Packers regaining form and being what most people anticipate them being a heavy favorite in the NFC than the Niners? Because the Packers we got to get Jordan Love not throwing the interceptions. That's what we got to do. We got to not throwing the interception. Then their defense got to step up and slow people down. Now they had the Bengals last week, which I don't know how much stock you want to put into that. But do you see the Packers as regaining form?
I do think that.
What's up, Candy?
I do think that they can rebound. Obviously, they're playing in a tough division, right? All of the North teams there are good. So,
I mean, but they still might be a not head and shoulders, at least a neck better than the Lions, who's still dealing with kind of injuries. I mean, the Lions, I see the Lions as like a boxer who's in probably the 7th round, who's taking some big shots. Now they have some big. Let's talk about that Wilder Fury 1, where if the Lions are Fury, they've taken some huge shots. Now they can give you some shots back, but they've taken some significant shots. And how strong will they be late in the season? I don't know. But I think the Packers and the Vikings, I don't think they're quite there with the quarterback isn't proven that he's going to be. Even with Lynch, the quarterback isn't proven that he's ready to win that division. So I don't know. The Packers, I think, are still there in striking distance to win that division.
So I think the Lions probably win that division, but Green Bay will probably be the second team in that division. Okay. Because, J.J. McCarthy still injured. Carson Wentz is now injured, right? So now you're looking at QB3. So now Wentz may be able to play. JJ, I don't believe, is ready to. So, but the Vikings, you knew were going to take a step back just because, again, you have a backup. That,
they weren't going to go 14 and 15 and 2. I mean, we knew that wasn't going to happen.
Well, and besides, you have an untested, essentially a rookie because he was injured his entire rookie season. And when he played for Michigan, they never asked him to really do anything. That was a run-first offense. He had to make a couple of plays a game. Like, it wasn't crazy. Whereas he would be moving into the Vikings, which actually is a run-heavy team, but you do have to make some special plays. You got to get those receivers involved. But it's an amazing team. Like, they got a great roster. So the things were in place for him to do well, but then he gets hurt again. They go get Carson Wentz, which on its face, you're like, okay, dude can sling the rock still. So, I mean, maybe it can do something. He immediately gets hurt. And you're just like, okay, well, you can only lose so many quarterbacks, right? And so that's why I think that Green Bay is probably the second best team in there. And then, the Browns not the Browns, but the Bears are starting to come along. I don't believe in them, but they're starting to come along.
I don't know that the Bears are they are coming along. You're right. Caleb Williams is starting to make plays. I don't know that they're not in the Lions category. Well, they're not in the Vikings category, certainly not in the Lions category, and certainly not in the Packers category.
So I think they're closer to the Vikings.
Yes.
Because of the
Vikings are still playing a rookie quarterback. Yeah, the Vikings are playing. Well, even if McCarthy started on Sunday, he's still a rookie. He's still learning stuff, coming back off of injury. So I feel you there. Now it was supposed to be 2 to 3 weeks with his high ankle sprain. I mean, we're in week 7 now. What's going on?
It makes you wonder.
Well, I understand when Carson Wentz is winning games, you say, okay, let's keep him on the sideline. Carson Wentz is winning. Let's keep him on the sideline. Let him get 100% before we bring him back. But now, I mean, that was week 2. We're 5 weeks away.
So how this one kind of played out, right, was his initial was going to be coming back for week 5, right? Okay. So the high ankle sprain, it was 2 to 3 weeks. Week 5, they were in where did they go? The first overseas.
London?
No, it was before that. They were I don't know why I'm mind blanking, but they had two international games back to back.
Okay.
And so they didn't have him travel with the team. They had Carson Wentz do that. And so this would be the first stateside game since his injury, right? So this is where maybe they bring him back. But if he's still not ready to go, then there's something more going on. Yeah,
and I thought they were just kind of hiding him, but you might be right that there might be a little bit more going on behind that because I think McDonald, Kevin O'Connell wants to see him. So they played Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago and lost to Pittsburgh, and then they lost to Cleveland.
So
over
the first
when
one
they
was
wherever they were at. They lost to Pittsburgh and then Cleveland.
Dublin. They were in Ireland. They were in Ireland. I was just like, man, why am I forgetting where they were? So yeah, they were.
You didn't wake up. You clearly didn't wake up at 6:30 for that game either, huh?
Of course I did. Yeah, I wake up before every day. So I watched that.
Oh, kudos, Bo. Look at Bo. You got to get it in. Let's see what other games. Buffalo, Atlanta.
The Buffalo defense is bad. Like it is. Everybody's been able to score on them. So that is a real concern moving forward. That the Bills do not have a good defense.
I think it's a concern. What every defense is not going to be able to blitz Josh Allen like the Atlanta Falcons did. Atlanta Falcons are really good defense, and they're really good guys on the edges that can get to the quarterback. Every defense is not going to be able to do that, and that really hindered Josh Allen's effectiveness. And we saw they try to pound the ball. It was interesting. They try to pound the ball with Brooks, but obviously Brooks is a little running back, so you can't pound the ball with him. But when he would pull the ball out of Brooks's belly, there weren't the receivers to throw to.
Well, so here's one of the things with the Bills, right? Is they haven't exactly played good teams, and even the bad teams are scoring. So you kick the thing off, right? You have Bills Ravens. It ends up a 40-41 game, right? So they win that game late because of that fumble, right, from Henry. So then you go to the Jets, horrible team. Like they do nothing well. You better win that game, right? Then you have the Dolphins. Not exactly a juggernaut either, right? Like they have a lot of problems there. So, between the Jets and if you look at the first three teams there's 2 wins, right? Like and then you move into the Saints. That's
right.
You're 4 weeks in. There's 3 wins between them.
Right.
So then you get the Patriots who win.
Who play decent brand of football right now.
Then you turn right around and lose to the Falcons, who are not a good team.
Okay. So let me ask you this. I've been my hometown my hometown friends have been getting on me. Cam, give this dude a chance. I think Penix stinks myself. And I was going back and forth to even whether I should even put this correlation in there.
He played up here.
Would I take Penix over Tua? And I can't answer that question. That's kind of what I think of Tua. I explained to you what I thought of Tua earlier, but that's kind of what I think of Penix. I don't know that Penix is an improvement over Tua Tagovailoa. What's your thoughts on Michael Penix?
So I would take Penix over Tua.
Okay.
Like no question. Okay. Because you get similar production, but your best ability is availability, and he has been mostly available.
I mean, Penix has had an injury problem in college, but we haven't seen that, knock on wood. I'm not wishing no injury on this guy.
And he didn't have it in the end of his career in college either.
At UW. I mean, but he sat out a couple of years in Illinois. Didn't he leave Illinois because he had the knee injury?
So he had a pretty wicked knee injury.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at his injuries, they were like a wicked hit created it, right? Like it was taking out a knee. It was taken, whereas Tua has been hurt every way possible.
Right. Sure.
So
I didn't, and I watched Penix that last year as a Husky.
Yeah.
When he was in the Heisman Trophy race.
Yeah.
And it came down to, did he lose it against Washington State? Did he lose it against Washington State, the Heisman Trophy, where Washington State held them, when they were a high-powered offense, they held them like 17 points. Now, they won the game, but Penix did not have a Heisman Trophy type performance.
Correct.
And then that continued on into I think that they had another win, another close win against Oregon, if I remember correctly, where he didn't. It was a 1-point game. I think the coach, if I remember correctly, I think the coach's play calling really impacted that game against Oregon. But it wasn't a Heisman Trophy winning type game coming off of the game. These are games late in the seasons. Like the Heisman Trophy is on the table, buddy. You can go get it, and he wasn't able to go get it. That's when I kind of lost confidence in Michael Penix, because you have you had a running game, you had receivers. I don't know. Everybody talked about how the offensive coordinator was such a good guru, but he goes down to Alabama, gets fired, comes back and he teams up. Did he go to Alabama? No. Where did the coach go? Did he go to Alabama and get fired?
The head coach is still in Alabama.
No, the offensive coordinator I'm talking about. He didn't go initially. He's in Alabama now. Where did he go?
So he was going
after when he left, when DeBoer went to Alabama, the offensive coordinator he went to the Seahawks.
He went to the Hawks.
He went to the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So everybody was enamored with him. I thought the play calling kind of sucked going down that final stretch of the game when the Huskies are playing for a national championship. Now that we know they lost to Michigan, but they were playing for a national championship. I didn't think Penix showed his best. When money was on the line. Now we're not talking about week 2, week 3 when they're playing San Jose State and they're winning 46 to 17. We're talking about games that mattered late in the season. Penix didn't step up, and that's why I lost confidence in Penix. And I don't think he's going to be the Atlanta quarterback for long, though he's better than your $100 million quarterback over there.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is I don't know that you can necessarily put it all on Penix, because there's some very real play calling issues that you saw even when Cousins was there. Not to say that Cousins is gone. I understand he's still the backup.
Okay.
But as the starter, because when you watch Atlanta play, they'll just randomly forget Bijan exists. And then they'll randomly stop using receivers. That's not on Penix.
It's on. Why I put it on Penix is you're the one dishing the ball there, big guy. You know you got to get London. You got to throw it to London. You got to throw it to Pitts. You got to hit those guys.
There's times that Bijan wasn't even on the field. Like, you can't even hand it to the guy if he's not out there.
Fair enough. Bijan, I don't know. Did you see the play with his 81-yard run that he had? I don't think I've seen. And when I saw this happen, I've been trying to rack my brain to where the safety comes over, try to wrap him up, gets both hands on both thighs, and the guy doesn't lose stride. He did not lose stride. That was so weird to me that that was the weirdest. Do you know what I'm talking about? Taylor Rapp tried to go make the tackle, and he grabbed him high, which was a bad thing. He just shrugged him off. He grabbed both thighs, and Bijan did not. He didn't lose stride.
He was a tank.
He did not lose. He did not lose stride. When a 200-pound man grabs on both of your thighs, he just kept running down the field. I was like, "Come on, man!"
It made me think of prime Derrick Henry, where like he just straight run through guys, even without the stiff arm. It was just like he's just this monster human, and like Derrick Henry tore off a 99-yard run.
Yeah, but he stiff-armed him, and people don't want to tackle Derrick Henry. People don't want to tackle.
Like they break down and they're like,
Yeah. They don't want to tackle him. But I just did. But you're right. Henry ran through a lot of arm tackles. But this wasn't even an arm tackle. Like usually a guy could get off balance and maybe stagger out of bounds or something. He did not break stride when Taylor Rapp tried to go and wrap him up. That was super impressive. That was super duper impressive. And you're right. He doesn't get the ball enough. He doesn't get the ball enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has more to do with coaching in Atlanta than anything else. They really misuse the amount of talent that team has because they have a decent defense. They have weapons. They have a quarterback that is accurate. whether you like Penix or not, like he is an accurate thrower of the ball. And so, they have a running back that they don't effectively use. So, I mean, when you look at the roster, you're like, okay, I mean, you guys are in a weaker division. Like you guys should be able to do some stuff. And then you watch them play and you're like, I really don't know. Do you guys just have like Football for Dummies book? Like, what are we doing?
Well, hold on. Raheem Morris, you just shit. He needs a coaching for dummies, huh?
I mean,
it's official.
I don't know if he needs one, but he could benefit from it.
It can't hurt, huh? It's official. 13-4, Toronto over the Mariners. There will be a game 5. So tomorrow night's game kind of, I don't want to say takes the luster off of tomorrow night's game, but I think it's a high pressure game now for the Mariners. I think that ratchets up the pressure tomorrow. Again, enough of those guys. What do you think we talked about Caleb Williams, but Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels, that was a bad fumble, obviously, against the Bears. I think it was kind of poetic justice. The football gods kind of doing it right because they shouldn't have won that Hail Mary game last year against the Bears.
They should have. They should have, for no other reason than dude that was over by the sideline.
Oh, talking to the fans.
That was as much instant karma as you could get. They deserved to lose that game 100%.
I mean, come on.
Hey,
I wouldn't have been over there talking to the fans while the play is going on. I wouldn't have done that. I understand. I know exactly what you're talking about. However, it took a Hail Mary, the definition of a gift from God for them to win that game, though.
You know what was even more instant karma? You know who tipped it up for them to win?
It was
the same dude, because he didn't go up and smack it down like you're supposed to. He went in there and popped it up.
Yeah.
So not only is he going to get yelled at for not being ready to play, being off on the side, but then creates the situation that lets them lose. I was just like, man, that couldn't have happened to a better dude. Like,
that was kind of poetic justice. So I think the them winning last night, it was kind of evens up the score, if you will. The Commanders beating them, or Jaden Daniels fumbling and beating. I think Daniels is a better quarterback.
No question.
But just the way things happened allowed the Bears to win the game. Do you see has Caleb Williams turned the corner, in your opinion, to be in he obviously is a starting quarterback. There's only 32 in the league. Is he the worst of the 15? No. Do you see now a boost, a progression? Because they went on and lost 10 straight after that game against the Redskins last year. Yeah. I think now I don't see them going to win 10 straight, but I see them having a much better a season than kind of the way things were going. Yeah, kind of boost the confidence.
You know, obviously they're a better team than they were last year too. I mean, if you remember this offseason, they basically got rid of the entire middle of their offensive line and got all new dudes, right? Sure. So I mean, they're a better team than they were. There's still a maturity factor that really I don't love about Caleb Williams. You know, he's stopped doing some of his things, but in tough moments, he's still a liability. And so I don't trust him in big moments. Wow. Do I think they're going to be a better team than they were last year? Yes. No question, right? No question. Would I trust him in a game on the line, high pressure moment? No, he's shown us enough character flaws that I wouldn't trust him in that moment. Not to say that he couldn't perform. Sure. I'm just saying I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, he's going to go do this thing. Whereas if you were rolling out there with Jaden Daniels or something like that, you're like, okay, yeah, no, I think he's primed for this moment. Right. Do I think Caleb Williams can get there? Sure. I just don't think he's there yet.
Okay. I think he's going to get there. I think we'll see how it works out with the head coach. But as you mentioned, this year he has a lot more tools in the toolbox.
For sure.
And a better coach. And a better coach, so that should help things. Now we're talking about these young quarterbacks. One guy I haven't mentioned is I'm not sure how much you and I have talked about The guy in Houston, C.J. Stroud.
Sure.
Offensive line, obviously, issue.
Yes.
Receiver issues. They have receiver injury issues as well. But is C.J. Stroud somebody that you can trust and that you would say be confident in clutch moments that can win the game?
Yeah, I mean, we watched him in a couple of those moments his rookie year when his team was a little bit better. The downside for him is his team hasn't been able to stay healthy after that rookie campaign. Mm-hmm. So we haven't really been able to see him with a consistent team. But do I think that he can go out there and do the job? Of course. Yeah. I mean, we watched him do it a couple of times. He doesn't have some of those, everybody's got to look at me. You know, I want the distraction to be me kind of personalities. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So like he gets it there and works. Jaden Daniels similarly, right? Like that. I like the guys that don't make a lot of noise, off the field noise, right? Like I want to see you go out there and just do the work. And, you know, it's one of the things that I thought was impressive about Shedeur after he finally got on a team, right? Like all of his nonsense before it, you're just like, man, this is not a great look. But once he's gotten to the Browns, like he's been there to work.
I want to see. I said Shedeur will be starting by week 6. That was last week. Now we got Dylan Gabriel starting again against the Dolphins. Dylan Gabriel probably have a good game against the Dolphins. It probably looked like a rookie of the year type of quarterback. For real. So I don't see this week happening, but I think Shedeur is going to get a chance to start sooner than later. Coming up this week, we have some big games on the docket, and I'll show you the games that I'm targeting as big games that I'll be excited to see. Here we go right here. Let me know if you can see what I'm showing you.
Oh, you can put on screen? Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So these are the games, and you guys can already see my picks. Real quick, fans, I've been doing this. I've been showing my picks each week. So nice. I got 6. I got 6 right. These are my official picks I've been making on the show. I was 6 for 15 last week. My pick percentage has dropped from 72% what it was a couple weeks ago to 60%. So I got some work to do, fans. I'm gonna get that back over 70%. I commit to you before the season is up. So it's only week 6. I got some work to improve, some improvement to make. But here's the games in yellow that I think are the big games of the week. We got the Rams. Go ahead.
I'm with you there. Yeah, that Rams-Jags game is going to be real interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited about that game. I'm picking the Rams to travel across the country. Yes. I don't have it's really Sean McVay. It's Sean McVay versus Trevor Lawrence. I got to go McVay in that one. It's going to be a good game. I want to see how it's going to play out. McVay has a good defense. He always has a good defense. Yep. Then they have Stafford and Kyron Williams to lead that offense. The Jaguars are 4-2 at this point. There's nothing to sneeze about. But I don't have the confidence that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to take it to the Los Angeles Rams in Sean McVay. I'm not going to go there. Yeah. Another game is we got to start looking. We got to start giving these Colts some credit. You giving these Colts some respect. Exactly. A lot of it is who you play, but at the same time, you got to beat who's in front of you, regardless of the standings, regardless of your health, regardless of what it is. You got to beat the players in front of you, and the Colts are winning. Daniel Jones, who I wasn't a believer, but the Dolphins let him get onto good feet, let him get his feet under him, let him get comfortable. At the game 1, and he's just been rolling ever since. They got the running back who's never been coming out of Wisconsin. Taylor was a good running back then. He has a good offensive line. The Colts have a good defense. They get slept on, but they play the Los Angeles Chargers this week.
So
in Los Angeles,
what I like about the Colts,
this is going to be a good game. Go ahead.
What I like about the Colts is so. My knock on them early was they hadn't played anybody, right?
Thanks for tuning in, boss.
But that win against Denver all of a sudden looks a lot different than it did in week 2, right? You're like, oh, okay, like that's a good win. Their loss to the Rams was because of a couple of, a rookie mistake, fumbling the ball through the end zone, and then, a late game fumble. Otherwise, they actually would have beat the Rams, right? So you're looking at the Colts. They very easily could have been undefeated right now.
Sure.
And so I do like kind of what they're doing there. Obviously, that's going to be an amazing matchup because the Chargers are going to want to get right after last week. Mm-hmm. That Rams game with the Jags is even more interesting considering Puka Nacua may miss that game with an injury.
I was having my fingers crossed. Puka is leading my fantasy squad, so I have my fingers crossed. It's only Wednesday. Can he shoot him up to give him something? But I don't know that he made the trip over there to what are they, London or England or somewhere this week. But you're right. That Puka's going to be. But Tutu Atwell has been able to step up. Devontae Adams, is he going to replace Puka? No, but can he finally catch some passes? Maybe. I don't know.
He's still that dude. Devontae he's still a great receiver. So, he's going to get his touches. I just think it'll be a much closer game than I otherwise would have thought. If the Rams were going there with their full complement, I had them winning by a touchdown because Seattle just beat the Jags with nobody on defense in the secondary.
Right.
You had two corners that were activated off the practice squad to start that game. Now, one of them was Shaquill Griffin, so it's not like he was an unknown player. But at the same time, he was still a practice squad player for this. So you're just man, I don't feel I'm not super confident. That was one of the picks I got wrong. I took the Jags in that. But so that being said, even without Nacua, I still think the Rams take it also.
Yeah, I think the Rams win this one. And I got the Buccaneers and the Lions is going to be a great game.
Absolutely.
That's going to be it's going to be an awesome game. Now, there's a couple other games, the Falcons and the 49ers. Can the Falcons continue this winning streak? Can they stay on pace? I'm interested in seeing that. Are the Packers, and they're playing the Cardinals, are the Cardinals just going to give up? We're at that season now where there are one or two things that can happen with the Cardinals. They have a decent record, the Cardinals been playing decent football, but they can't
finish.
They haven't ended up winning these games. They haven't finished games. But they have. Where the Packers? Can the Packers, or can they separate? And this is where the Packers have to show that they can separate. But I think the Buccaneers Lions game is. We talked about Baker Mayfield playing on an MVP level. The Lions losing to the Chiefs. Now they have to regain. They need to regain their moxie. They need to show everybody that they're still the team, the factor in NFC. So that's going to make the game. That's going to be a barn burner right there. Actually,
that one there is my game of the week.
Is the Buccaneers and Lions? Yeah, that's going to be a good one. What other games? Eagles and the Vikings. I kind of circled it, but I don't know what the Vikings quarterback situation is. The Eagles have some internal. The Eagles are like the cute girl that needs some attention. They're like that cute girl who they need that everybody tell them, "Oh, your baby, you look so good, you're so sweet, you're fine." They need that attention for whatever reason. And they don't play the way they play the style of football they need to play to win the game. Doesn't speak to needing that extra attention, but they need that extra attention. It's so freaking weird. I don't get it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm with you. And the thing that's funny is there's a lot to not like about this Eagles team, which doesn't make sense because they have most of their roster from last year.
Yeah.
But they do not seem like they play football well together. 2 weeks ago, they didn't have an offensive pass play. A positive pass play in the second half. Yeah, that's an entire half of football.
When usually teams win a championship and they get a confidence boost. I'm not seeing that with these guys. I'm not seeing their boost with these guys. I don't. It's confusing. What's happening to a championship team is very confusing. And so the Vikings quarterback issues, I couldn't make that a game. And now if Wentz was still healthy or JJ was playing good football and going into this game, that's really a good game. but there's so much unknown about this game that I can't put it in my game of the week. So I got 3 games a week. One of the final questions I want to ask you, and I really appreciate you for tuning in, Bo, and let the people know once again where they can find you and where they can find you and keep up with all your musing that's going on about the world of sports and find you during your 12 hours of airtime every day.
Yeah, so the easiest place to find me is on my YouTube channel at football-talk. And of course, all the social media spots, Football Talk with Bo. That is the easiest way to find me for sure. And then of course, when I come and bother your fan base.
Well, we love to have you, man. You bring excitement, you bring some knowledge of the game, and we appreciate that. And then also you bring some fun banter.
Oh, I gotta ask, how was the first couple of games with the Kraken?
Oh, well, the Kraken is good. The Kraken started off 2-0. I actually, honestly, I think they're playing
they lost
tonight.
in overtime yesterday.
So I missed that. So they started off 2-0. They're on a 6-game road trip. But with the new coach wants a defensive focus. So they're bringing that. I don't know what the score. What was the score last night? I bet they didn't give up a lot of points because the coach is real, kind of a hard ass, if you will. To be honest with you,
I don't remember what the.
They went into overtime. They went to overtime on Saturday night, game 2. They pulled it out. They pulled it out. Overtime hockey. This is my first season covering hockey, fans, and so I'm learning the game. Overtime hockey is 3-on-3, which is like the court is open. The whole ice is open.
Ice is open. Yeah.
And these guys, I think they're so talented just skating around, number one. I don't know how many of you guys have been on ice skates, but to be competitive on ice skates is a whole different world, guys. Like, it's a whole different world. So I admire what these guys are doing on the court. But I really found the 3-on-3 overtime hockey to be intriguing because the ice is open. There's not a lot of people in the way. They get a lot of shots up, and they scored their final shot with 3 seconds on the clock before it went to the penalty kicks. So that was pretty interesting. Covering the Kraken is pretty cool, I have to say. I'll be with them all season, but right now they're on a 6-game road trip, and it's hard to forget about them if I'm not going to the game. So, to be quite honest with you,
so are they doing it like the Storm, where you get a zoom in to the away?
Yes. Well, I have access to it. Yes. So if I wanted to zoom in, I could.
Nice.
I could zoom, but,
Nice.
I'd rather be there. Before I let you go, I will let you critique my supremacy rankings, but I want to ask you a question before we do that. Is Travis Hunter?
Yep.
He hasn't jumped off on the screen to me this season. I haven't. I watched a little bit of the game against the Seahawks. I saw him make a couple nice catches, but throughout we're in week 7. He hasn't jumped out on the screen to me. What have you seen from him?
So he has been good, but not great.
Okay.
What makes him interesting is the fact that he's taking a lot of snaps on both sides of the ball. So he is getting a lot of play time on both sides, which is where, when you're looking at his gameplay, you're like, okay, like he's playing good, right?
Yeah.
But he's doing it in double duty. So then you're like, okay, nice.
Could he be better if he played 100% wide receiver, or
Probably.
if he played 100% cornerback?
Most likely. Yeah.
I don't.
But the Jags did some things that required him. Like they draft him, and then it was literally like 3 weeks later they got rid of their number one receiving target. Mm-hmm. So they basically were like, "Hey, he's going to be our guy. We used him with this high draft pick. We're going to make sure we have to use him on both sides.
We're going to get our money's worth, huh?"
Exactly. So.
I just haven't seen him jump out on the screen to me. The times I watched him, I haven't. Now I'm not watching every Jaguars game, honestly, but what I've seen, he hasn't jumped off the screen to me, and I just want to get somebody else's opinion on kind of where he's been before I say he's been trash, because I just honestly haven't seen that much of him.
So I don't think he's trash. Like he's definitely above average.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's not like the elite talent dominating the league or anything like that. Not that I thought he would be year one anyway, but yeah.
So here are my supremacy rankings, Bo. I should have did a little bit better unveiling these, but in the AFC will go AFC, NFC, and then it's obviously all right there for you to see. But I have the Colts, Chargers, Broncos, and the Chiefs. I snuck the Steelers in there. This is kind of my rankings right now. The Colts they're playing the best football. You can't deny it. We got to give them some credit. I think the Chargers are playing good football despite their injuries. So I think if Herbert can hold on, they're getting some different production out of the backup running backs. I think Hampton comes back, changes the world for them. The Broncos have I think they're number 3 defense in all of football. That mixed with Bo Nix in their running game, I think is playing pretty good football as of today. I have them third in the West, in the AFC rather. The Chiefs. I have the Chiefs up here because I think they're kind of coming back. This is before
they're ascending. Yeah.
I couldn't put the Chiefs at 2 or 3 because number one, they lost to the Chargers. Number 2, the Broncos are playing that good. I think they're still right there. And this changes week to week. So this is, as of last week, this is where I have them. And the Steelers, to my surprise, the combination of Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf is showing up. Like I haven't seen this DK.
It's working.
I have not seen this DK, so I got to give them some. I got to give them some love for doing what they're doing. I have them up as my 5th team in the AFC. In the NFC, we talked about Baker and what he's doing with the Buccaneers. The Rams are right there. The Seahawks weren't in here last week, but the way Sam Darnold is playing, I have to give him some credit. The defense, we talked about the defense playing phenomenal, even without some of the players due to injury. I have to give them some credit for what they're doing. The Lions, I think I had the Lions at 2 last week, but they regressed with the loss. And the Packers, I haven't seen the Packers need to switch that gear. The Packers need to switch the clock. They need to switch the gear because they could be right there, but I haven't seen them. I need to see dominance from them, and I haven't seen dominance from them. That's what I want to see from the Packers.
So I don't have the Packers in there yet. So this is my top 10 power ranking here. So we got quite a few of the same players.
Hold on. There we go. Let me get it up there. Okay.
So then you can see the way some of these teams have moved. So I got the Bucks and the Colts. I have the Lions, Bills, Eagles all fallen. I got the Niners, Hawks.
You got the Niners you got the Niners above the Seahawks?
I do, because despite all the injuries, they keep winning, and so it's tough. It's tough to count them out. But and then down at the bottom, that final spot had the
okay.
Has the Steelers.
I can only see you have the Steelers underneath the Seahawks.
So I have the Jags under the Seahawks, and then the Steelers.
Okay. I don't have the Jags. I don't have the Jags in any of my boards, but okay.
I mean, a 4-2 team.
I'm surprised. Yeah. I'm surprised. The Niners are on your list. Really, we talked about the effectiveness of the Bucks, the Colts. I like the Colts right there. The Lions. So you don't take anything away from what the Lions get smacked around last week.
I do. That's why they fell 2 spots.
Oh, okay.
I had them as my number 1.
Okay.
And then that dropped them a couple of spots, but it's against a KC team that is resurging. Right? So some of it is the quality of the loss, right?
Okay. Fair enough.
So and I mean, like at the end of the day, it's tough to remove the Niners when
they keep winning.
Even with nobody on the team, they keep winning.
Right.
Like it's wild that they do. But I mean, as it sits today, they lead the West. They're the best team, right? Because they have the tiebreaker. So, I mean, it would be tough to have the Rams and the Seahawks on there and not the Niners when you look at the standings and they're behind them. And they beat us head-to-head.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I just think that the injuries are going to catch up with them. So I'm doing a little foreshadowing, if you will, versus looking at it as of, I
100% agree. Like the odds of them still being on the list in 2 weeks is really low.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But so this is more of the eye test of where the teams are.
Yeah.
Because it's tough to barbecue a team for an injury when you never really know what they're going to do, especially right now, because they could go trade for somebody or whatever. Right. So you gotta keep it open a little bit in like a power ranking situation. But yeah, I mean, if it was just based on who's going to be available this week, the Niners wouldn't be there.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Decent list. I know there's some movement there in there, but week 7, that's a decent list. But once again, let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, so, on my YouTube channel, at Football-Talk, all the socials, Football Talk with Bo. And tomorrow night, if you're in the Seattle area, come out to Crucible Brewing, 4 p.m. We do the show live from that lobby, and then we watch Thursday Night Football. So,
well, tomorrow night, you also have the Seattle Mariners playing Game 4 of the American.
That will also be on the screen.
The AL Championship Series.
Yep, the baseball game and Thursday Night Football both be up. So,
fans, thank you both for tuning in. And I'm just going to make this announcement with you on the line, Bo, so you can hear it and your fans can hear it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, I was planning to come join you tomorrow night, but we have something going on tomorrow, Game 4 of the American League Championship Series. And I was looking for the Mariners to win tonight because I want them to be extra hyped for tomorrow night. But nonetheless, I think there'll still be some excitement in the air. So I'm going down to the stadium, and what I want to do tomorrow is I want to talk to some fans, some longtime fans. I'm born and raised in Seattle, Washington. Grew up in the CD, the South End, lived all over the Seattle, went to school in Burien, went to Kennedy High School in Burien, went to Juanita and Kirkland. So I cover Seattle, okay, the greater market. But I want to talk to fans about what it means for the Seattle Mariners to be a game, now 2 games away from the World Series. This has never happened. This is uncharted territories. Seattle, clearly we had the Sonics win the championship back in '79 when we were, still had boogers on our nose. And I wasn't here when the Seahawks won the championship in 2014, but I did go to New York, though. I was in New York celebrating. I was celebrating in New York. I wasn't going to pay more than $1,000 for a ticket to go into the stadium. It just didn't make sense, especially, Bo. I had a deal, Bo. It was $50 for four seats. All you can drink, all you can eat from kickoff to the final whistle of that Super Bowl. And if you know what the Super Bowl was, we all remember what the Super Bowl was. Bo, by halftime, my party was no good. Fortunately, my brother brought his wife with him, so she kept everybody. She was able to make sure everybody got home safely. But it was, Bo, for $50, Bo, it was all you can drink, all you can eat from the kickoff to the end of the whistle. And that game was really over in the first quarter, right? So we were tossing it back. I was no good the next 2 days after that. But I had a great time. So I want to capture that environment. I want to capture the feeling of Seattle Mariner fans, those who I know who have cried and died with the Seattle Mariners. And they are 2 games away from the World Series. You guys got to tell me how you feel about this. I'm gonna obviously write a story up on it, but I wanted fans' reactions I want fans' reaction of this, and so I'm gonna go down there pregame. If they win, I was really hoping that they win today, so I can get a pregame and a postgame feel of the environment. But it is what it is.
Well,
honestly, I think the story is still there.
honestly, I think it'll be, especially if they win, the excitement coming out of there will be crazy because that means they have to win one of 3 games.
You're right. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, like the atmosphere will be electric.
Yeah. It will be. So thank you guys again. Thank you, Bo, for showing up. Free ticket. Oh, Bo's giving away free tickets?
No.
There's a free ticket for Bo.
Yeah,
Oh.
so I might have to rethink my Thursday night football thing.
Yeah, if you have a free ticket, you might reconsider. You better hit me up if you come down there tomorrow.
I will.
Yeah, oh man, that was an awesome deal, big guy. That was an awesome deal, Robert.
I mean, $50 all you could drink, challenge accepted.
And then that's why I was like, I only have a limit. I have a limit on what I'm paying, and I really didn't want to go to that limit. Somebody got close. Somebody was like, I think the closest they got was $900. It was $1,100, and I was just like, no, I'm not paying over $1,000 for a ticket. But I think the closest I got was $1,100, and I was just like, it's no big deal. I'm already drinking. Okay, I'm already drinking. I'm good. But Bo, I want to thank you for tuning in. Fans, I want to thank you guys for joining in. We're doing this every week. Hit me up, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the share button if you really like what's going on in the show. Bo, thank you for kudos to you, kudos to your team, and we'll talk soon. If you go down there tomorrow night, Bo, hit me up so you can be part of the story.
Will do. Absolutely.
Thank you. Let the people know once again where they can find you, Bo, on your way out.
Yep. All the socials, Football Talk with Bo, my YouTube, at Football-Talk, and whenever I come here.
Thank you again for your time, man. I know it's precious. Have a good one, big guy, and we'll see you soon.
Take it easy, brother.
Yeah, that's Bo, my guy. Football will talk with Bo. Make sure you guys tune in and check him out on all of the socials, YouTube page as well. He does a really good job talking all sports as you just heard. And I thank you guys for tuning in with me and hanging with me still. So the show is not over. I just want to let Bo go. Now I'm going to start talking NBA, and then we got to talk about. I should have asked Bo about the Aces. His thoughts on the Aces winning their 3rd championship in a few years. I should have asked him about that. I should have asked Bo even about what he thought about the Storm. NECA was 2nd team All NBA. Gabby was All Defensive Team. Dominique was All Rookie Team. So there was me and Bo and I should say. Covered the Seattle Storm, the WNBA squad, and that's some of the good things that were happening. They still haven't hired a new coach moving forward, but that's a topic for another day. NBA season starts next week, guys. Whether you guys believe it or not, the NBA season actually kicks off next week. And so I just want to run down some of the general topics, NBA topics that we need to be looking at. Kevin Durant going to the Houston Rockets. I think that really elevates Houston that gives Houston a go-to guy. Although they did lose Dylan Brooks, I would have liked them to keep Dylan Brooks in that trade. That really gives a go-to guy. Houston was real good on their defense anyway. Amin Thompson's going to have to be better. I think that puts Houston like a solid 2 or 3 in the Western Conference. Luka Doncic is going to take over the Lakers. Now, we talked about last week, is Luka going to take over or is LeBron going to relinquish the keys to Luka? Well, LeBron's going to be out for a few weeks, it looks like. He's not starting to do this to this sciatica. He's not going to start the season 100% healthy. And even by starting the season, when he comes back, it's going to be a few weeks into the season. Luka and Ayton has a chance to really prove their worth. Not Luka himself, but Luka, that duo, Luka and Ayton. Then they got Hachimura. They got Vanderbilt to get in the game. We're going to see really early on who Luka is. I don't question Luka's leadership like I question Tua's leadership, but Luka's in a similar position where he never had to be a leader. Can he be the leader? We're going to see here. We're going to see here shortly. Cooper Flagg getting drafted by the Dallas. He goes to Dallas. What is Dallas going to be? How soon are we going to see Kyrie? What is Dallas? What is Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis? What's that combination look like? It's going to be interesting to see. What are the Philadelphia 76ers going to do? if Embiid and Paul George, are they going to be healthy enough to contend in the Eastern Conference? We don't know. They got the Knicks to contend with. They're going to have the Celtics to contend with. Where are they going to be? I think probably the most anticipated thing about the NBA fans is the NBA's return to NBC. And then it's going to be Prime Video. Now, it's going to be kind of weird searching on the dial looking for NBA games because it's not on TNT, it's not on ESPN, just as simple as it was the last few years. We're going to have to go Prime Video, NBC. Like, now they're trying to compete with the TNT, the Turner crew, which is still doing their job. It's just going to be aired on ESPN. But Prime Video, NBC, has brought on all these former NBA players as analysts. Like, what's that going to look like? Are you guys excited to see that? Or is that? I mean, that's going to be. We're going to have to see what that's like. We're going to have to get used to that again. Not only finding the teams, but enjoying the broadcast. What's that broadcast going to be like? Because the NBA on NBC hasn't been happening since Jordan, when they had Marv Albert, right? So that's going to be different. That's going to be something to look forward to within the NBA. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, does Giannis want out of Milwaukee? Now, he mentioned the other day that there was an offer on the table that could have sent him to New York that he nixed. But did that mean that if Miami puts an offer together that he'd be willing to go to Miami? Did that mean if the Lakers put a deal together, would he be willing to go to LA? It's gonna be curious to see what happens with Giannis, because I think he was kind of a half-hearted. He's always said Milwaukee's his home. Milwaukee's a place that drafted him. I said as soon as a year ago that he's shown some loyalty to Milwaukee by not asking for a trade to this point. But his conversations last week was kind of curious to say that he nixed a deal, but I don't know. Like, if somebody comes and gives him an offer that he's willing to take or that he'd be okay with taking, is he gone? We'll see how that plays out. Yang in Portland, drawing a lot of the center in Portland, Chinese center in Portland, drawing a lot of comparisons to Yang Min, a big dude, back to the basket type of center. He's a young guy, so he's gonna take some. He's not gonna come in the NBA and dominate him, but it's gonna be pretty interesting to see how he, the guy they got out of Kentucky, UConn. How am I having a break? Klingon, Klingon, the center. They have a beefy center position. They have a competition at center, and then they still have Scoot Henderson. And then they have they have Scoot Henderson. The Portland Trailblazers are going to be an up-and-coming team. I don't know that they're going to make the playoff, but they're going to be a fun team to watch in the NBA this season. Again, they're young. All these players I'm mentioning are young, but they're going to be a fun team to watch. The Phoenix fall off the Phoenix with Durant leaving. The Phoenix, do they fall and just not make the playoffs? Not make the Western Conference playoffs? Did not make the play-in tournament? That's going to be interesting. What does Golden State do? What does Golden State do with Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler? They have a full season of these guys together. Are they a play-in team? Are the Golden State Warriors a play-in team, or do they miss the play-in altogether? That's going to be interesting to see. Those are my NBA. Those are some of the things I'm looking forward to happening in the NBA. You guys, if you got some interesting things, topics, let me know. But that's what I'm looking forward to happen initially in the NBA. Some of the initial things that I'm looking to see happen is the NBA. It's a long season anyway, so a lot of things can change between now and not the beginning of the season, that because of next week, but now and the now in playoff time, because again, we do have 10 weeks or 10 months almost to see how things play out. So Portland Trailblazers, I couldn't get this out. They do have Drew Holiday. I forgot they had Drew Holiday. Shaden Sharp is who I wanted to say. So they got Scoot Henderson and Shaden Sharp in the backcourt. You got Drew Holiday to add some leadership. I don't know how much longer he's going to be there because he's obviously a trade piece because he's a champion and they want to be more. They want to do more than win a few games, so they can trade him away and get another pick or two. Damian Lillard, he's back on the squad, but he's not going to play. I doubt he plays any games this season, trying to recover from his injury. So Shaden Sharp is somebody to look for. Yang Hassan is the center out of China that's going to be getting a lot of attention, but him and Donovan Klingon are going to hold it down in the paint. They still have Jeremy Grant, who was a pretty good defender when he played for OKC a few years ago. I'm surprised they haven't traded him, but they're going to be a fun team to watch. The Portland Trailblazers are. I just don't think they're going to make the playoffs. And then obviously it's going to be the MVP watch and everything else that goes on. Gilgeous-Alexander leads that. Anthony Edwards comes in behind. And where's Luka? I think a lot of Luka's season is going to hinge on his leadership early on. Can he stay a leader? Is he a leader? Will we see his leadership early on this season? Because we haven't had to see that up until now because he's been in Dallas. He's just been balling. And they haven't asked him to be the guy, the leader. Now he has to be that in LA. Is he going to be that? That's what I'm looking forward to see from the NBA this season. Real quickly, I'll wait a week or two before I give you some rankings, but those are the initial stories that I want to see. I want to look towards in the NBA. Fans, I do my show. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. I appreciate you guys. Show the love. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. If you really like what you see, if you really like what you hear, hit that share button. Share it with your friends and family, the sports fans in your life. I do my show every week from the Great American Casino, 14040 Interurban Avenue South in Tukwila, Washington, 98168. There's awesome happy hour specials. If you're a service worker, they're offering half off of entrees during happy hour, not happy hour. I just figured that out, or I just learned that tonight. So they really cater to their public service workers here in the state of Washington at the Great American Casino. Come on down, 14040 Interurban Avenue South in Tukwila, Washington. It is a casino. I'm just kind of in the back room right now. But they offer bonus free play Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday and Saturday, it's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Qualified players can receive up to $1,000 in free play. They do this 2 winners every hour. So come on down. If you're a gambler, you like putting money in the slots, come on down, check them out. They have things to offer you at the Great American Casino, and they got nice drink specials. They got happy hour specials. They got night drink specials. That's actually how I found this place, because of the drink specials. And I started coming here. And I asked them to hook me up. So that's come on down if you got some time on a lazy Friday night, Saturday night. They actually have karaoke on Thursday night. So come on down to the Great American Casino on Interurban Avenue and check them out. Fans, one of the things I love to do is talk about what's happening in history that impacts our country. A lot of things have happened that really kind of get swept under the rug or hidden and stuff. I like to highlight some of those things. 1941, October 8th, 1941, civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson was born in South Carolina. October 9, 1888, O.B. Clare patented the trestle, a structural framework used for bridges and railroads. That was O.B. Clare patent that in 1888. 1899, Isaiah R. Johnson patented a folding bicycle frame, a design still influenced today. A bicycle frame that you can fold away, huh? October 11th, 1887, Granville T. Woods, often called the Black Edison, patented the telephone system and apparatus. October 12th, 1904, Dr. Daniel Hale Williams, one of the first physicians to perform open heart surgery, passed away. This is 1904. He founded a Providence Hospital, first non-segregated hospital in the United States of America. October 13, 1902, Arna Bontemps, Harlem Renaissance poet and librarian, was born in Alexandria, Louisiana. A little brain snafu. October 14, 1964, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his nonviolent resistance to racial prejudice in America. Lastly, October 15, 1966, the Black Panther Party was founded in Oakland, California by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale to monitor police brutality and promote Black empowerment. Then 1966. Fans, a big topic of the day, we had some boxing. Did you guys see Jerron Boots Ennis and Lima over the weekend? Like, that was a one fight. I mean, that was a one-round fight. Boots didn't take long at all to dispatch him. What do you guys think, boxing fans out there? What do you guys think this does this elevate Boots at the 154 level? I think it elevates him at the 154 level. However, Boots he doesn't have a lot of competition at that level. He's crying for Crawford. He's not going to get Crawford. I like to see him offer Spence a fight. I like to see that. That fight should have happened a couple of years ago, but Spence didn't want to fight Boots because we knew Boots had the talent. Spence had to be concerned that Boots could have beat him, but he never fought him, and he wouldn't have admitted that back then, and he probably still won't admit that today. But now today, with Spence being sidelined for a few years, a fight with Boots might be relevant to get Spence back relevant and to let kind of, I don't know if Boots has an itch to get back at him, but I think that would be a good fight for him because I think now he would beat him. And then now he would get the recognition that he wants. Usman Luma doesn't give Boots the recognition that he was looking for. He's with Eddie Hearns. Eddie Hearns is going to have Boots racking up a lot of airline miles, fighting overseas to fight some of these tough fights over there. But I don't think he's going to get the recognition that he is seeking and deserves by going overseas and fighting some of them chumps over there. I think he needs to stay home. I'd like to see him fight Spence. I think that will get them the recognition he needs. If the Sebastian Fundora Keith Thurman fight has been called off, that was happening on 10/25. That's Fundora did something with his wrist, but Fundora at 154 would be a good fight for Boots. But Fundora is in PBC. I don't know that PBC is going to reach out to Boots. I don't know if Boots want to go back to PBC. That I don't know, though I think that would be a good fight, just as I think Spence and Boots would be a good fight. Conor Bean, Chris Eubanks in November 15th. We'll talk a little bit about that fight as it comes along. Obviously, there's Tank and Jake coming up pretty soon. We'll get to that later. And I don't think we're going to talk much about the Tyson Mayweather fight as that gets closer. But are you guys still boxing fans? What boxing fans excite you, if any at all? Are you excited by the win that Boots had over the weekend? I don't know. You guys let me know. He should have won, yes. But because he dispatched him in one round, I don't know that was heavy competition. Hearns want to laugh and joke and said, "Oh, you get paid more per minute than any fighter in the world." Well, come on, Hearns. I don't. Is it money or is it recognition that boxers want? I tend to think that they want both, more recognition than the money. So fighting Lima, dispatching him in one round, and Hearns saying you make more money than anybody per round. So what? He still hasn't gotten the recognition that he's seeking, and that's because Lima clearly wasn't the competition for him. So that's my thoughts on kind of the boxing scenario, and talked about the fights that we have coming up. Tomorrow night, fans, if you're in the area, come on down to T-Mobile Park. I want to talk to some fans about what the Mariners being 2 games away from the World Series means to you guys. How excited are you guys? I want to capture that excitement. I want to capture that energy. I want to capture that vibrance that you guys are feeling, because this is remarkable. I give you credit. I've been shitting on the Mariners for years, but if they get to the World Series, I have to give them some praise. They're 2 games away, though. They're 2 games away. 2 games away. Don't fall short, Mariners. Don't fall short. But I will be out there tomorrow night in game time, probably about 4 o'clock. If you have a desire, you want to be on air, hit me up at _voice of the fans on Twitter. That's at _voice of the fans on Twitter. Hit me up. Let me know that you're down there. I'll be down there. I'm probably going to be huddled around what is the home plate entrance. So if you have time, come find me. Come find me. I'll be the only one out there with the camera probably, but I just want to talk to fans and get their feel, get the environment. I want to share the excitement that you guys feel with the world. And I know we're still games away. So I'll be down there tomorrow. Hit me up if you come down at _voice of the fans. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button if you really like what you hear. And as always, fans, I want to thank you for making our voice your choice. Have a good night. Thank you, fans. See you tomorrow night.